Alright, so this is a Rise of the Ronin very quick review. I just want to start with the open world is pretty boring to explore. Random lifeless NPCs walking around with the occasional low level enemies to fight with some basic loot with randomized passive stats. A few fugitives and the public orders. The fugitives were my favorite part. They were mostly unique with unique names and looks, but I do wish there was more of the fugitive hunts. It's you just go to their location and kill them. That's it. You get the rewards. The horse riding does feel janky, like just kind of weird. I mean, but it's fine. The horse works okay. The horse jump is pathetic though. I wish the horse could jump a bit higher. Next up is the dialogue options and in-game conversation. Your character voice is only used during combat for grunts and args, some cinematic cutscenes. Otherwise, your character is silent during all your dialogue choices and conversations during the game. The dialogue choices are pretty useless and boring, with very little to no dialogue from open world NPCs. I think the only open world NPCs you get dialogue from is like enemies, fugitives you fight, like thieves, people that run shops, and obviously everyone that you get your missions from. But that's more like chasing markers and not really exploring the world and talking to the people and just trying to see what life is really like in certain cities, in certain areas in the game. Everyone kind of looks the same. There's a lot of there's a lot of cloned NPCs. There is technically romance in the game, but there's no actual sex or titties, ass, anything like that. All your romance options and gifts will go to waste, as you won't get a single hug or kiss throughout this game. There is a lot of useless loot hoarding in this game. This one was a huge gripe with me, the janky open world traversal and climbing. Trying to climb on rocks in this game is just like everything is coated in butter. Sometimes you can't even climb onto like structures and ledges properly, like buildings, scaffolding, balconies. Even flying a few times, you fly straight into hills, you won't properly land. You'll fly onto the edge of rocks and cliffs and buildings and not grab onto it. That's very kind of inconsistent. And there's a lot of invisible walls in this game, just trying to jump over and mantle and climb around certain places. It was just extremely underwhelming. There's also a lot of loading screens in this game. Every single time you talk to an NPC, there's going to be a loading screen. Even when you go visit your longhouse, you can't walk around your own longhouse and talk to the NPCs and the cats and the dogs at the same time. You can talk to the dog outside of the longhouse, but once you go inside the longhouse, it's a loading screen. Then when you go to talk to somebody, it's a loading screen. When you're done talking with them, it's a loading screen. When you leave the longhouse, another loading screen. It's just so many loading screens. It's like Starfield for PS5. The one good thing I have to say is the combat is fun. It feels very kind of cartoonish, not realistic like Ghost of Tsushima, which I like. It's unique to the Team Ninja games. Very fun. Wacky combat allows for some wild shit, but there was a bugged parry window. I saw a lot of big Team Ninja fans, streamers and content creators playing, and they were having issues when the game released with bugged parry timing on a lot of different enemy attacks. All of the attacks on normal difficulty seem to be hitting just fine now. And about the boss fights in this game, there's way too many repeated boss fights. You fight every single one of your allies several times over. I stopped paying attention halfway through the story. At first, it was just because they didn't trust me, or we were just fighting for fun. And it's just like, I'm tired of fighting this guy. And several bosses throughout the game you'll see again and again just pop up several times over. And then they'll become your allies, and then you have to fight them again just to prove loyalty or friendship or something. Like, it's some real anime shit. Another thing about the combat, there were extremely annoying lightning fast attacks that you have to memorize a pattern and a rhythm for, because you don't see the attack coming. There will be certain attacks, part of a combo, that'll just flash out and hit you, and unless you're spamming the parry button, you're not going to parry that attack. There's a few enemies in the game where you have to more so remember a rhythm than pay attention to their actual moves, because you can't see the attack coming. Another extremely disappointing thing was the repetitive copy and pasted open world activities throughout the entire game. The same with the public orders. They just don't really feel unique. It's the same guy going to catch a thief and he needs your help. The same guy that wants you to help train his student throughout the 4 different open world areas in a game over and over and over. The same guy that wants you to help him but is actually going to jump you in a back alley with his friends over and over again. The same exact type of public orders. It's just too repetitive. I think they could have made this game much better with some actual good open world exploration, but with the performance, I don't think it could handle having like dungeons and caves and intricate enemy camps set up throughout the world and objectives and AI doing different things in the background. There's no way this game could pull it off. So they had to do just rip like this live service Ubisoft generic copy and paste missions everywhere, a bunch of useless loot, and I'm just disappointed, especially for $70. If you're thinking about buying this game or thinking about waiting for sale, you are right, just wait for the sale. If you already bought the game, I'm sorry to hear that. If you bought the game and you did enjoy it and have no regrets, good for you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I do want to say that the frames are really kind of fucked up and the popping is terrible. Like on the level of Nintendo Switch. But yeah, for $70, this is kind of bad. That's it. Rise of the Ronin quick review. Let me know what you think. What was your experience? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Do you want to see a Rise of the Ronin 2? Alright, bye.